All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Global Labs notes reading. So today is January 12th, and when I read these notes, it's usually because something notable is happening that I wanted to talk about. And usually when the global notes happen, it goes to the live servers in like 2+ weeks. So something to look forward for. And yeah, there's a few things. I kind of skimmed through the notes, and I think there's a few things I want to talk about as someone who actually plays this game, and I think this will be a lot of interesting things to talk about. So let's speedrun this again. Scholar. Also, we're Google translating it from the official thing. So if you want to read it yourself, I'll leave a link in the description, and I think that's cool. If things don't make sense, I'll try to make it make sense because Google Translate is not perfect, that's for sure. Scholar is still getting changes and updates, and it's always weird. I know Scholar is a special case because it's not supposed to be both Awakening and Succession as far as I understand. But I kind of wish when they release classes, it would just be done all at once. I don't mind waiting an entire year for a new class, but I just wish like other classes in the future would have their Awakening and Succession already done when they release it. Because remember Megu and Wusa? Like Megu had, like a 3 to 6 month gap. Wusa had like an entire year gap between Awakening and Succession. So I just kind of wish it was just all done at once when it's released. I get why they do it, but it's just one of those weird things to me. So anyway, next, we have the Magnus and the well. This is a quality of life thing that a lot of people have been asking for over the years. And so you know how when you go down the well and you're just trying to get from point A to B, you would have to go through like 6 loading screens, right? Nowadays, you can see all this or do all this in like 1 loading screen, which I think is a lot better. And I guess here's an example. Let's watch this one. So basically, instead of going through all the load screens, you just kind of do it. And then you still have to go down to well. I wish you could just click a button and then it'll just fast travel you. But I guess the immersion, cool, I guess. And then you're there. That's cool. And then it tells you where you're heading. Also, they're adding an abyssal well in the Ulakita area in Musgar, which is the middle... center, middle, same thing, south of it. And I think, realistically, for the whole Magnus thing, I wish there were 2 wells in each region, especially Land in the Morning Light, because people go there for the bosses weekly, and some bosses are just straight on the other side of the island. So I could probably think of 2 spots in every region where you could put the well, and it would be like one where it is and then one more in the center of the region that they have to make it a little bit easier to, let's say you want to go to a different spot. I think that's one thing I would change as well, or like add in the future. But I think right now this is a very nice quality of life, and so I think they're also changing it because I heard a lot of people had crashing issues in the Magnus, myself included. So that nowadays it's less load screens, therefore in theory less crashes. And for all of you who grind into Ulakita area, this is more for like an end game thing. They're adding the well there, which is awesome. They're making the cost of travel a flat 5 mil instead of based on distance, which is a huge change because, as we all know, in online games you kind of have to have currency sinks. And I think in BDO, aside from getting destroyed by taxes, anyone who enhances, we all know we're just lighting silver on fire by enhancing most of the time. So the fact that they're just making every travel the same amount of silver is a good thing. And yeah, I definitely did not enjoy spending like 100 mil a week going to Land in the Morning Light just to do my bosses and then get destroyed by the rewards, even though I can do like Calamity 7 in certain bosses and still get nothing. So yeah, it's just kind of weird. Definitely didn't enjoy that. So glad that they're reducing the cost of an overall thing and just making a flat fee. That's awesome. They're removing items for various spots that, you know how recently they've been trying to convert materials into like one thing to make it easier for new players. And then in other grind spots, there were things where you had to combine multiple items. Like, for example, currently on the live servers, they removed the like red and black shards. So for all of the endgame players trying to make Deboreka's accessories, they now just drop the individual item. And now here is Serendia, Elvia, and Valencia spots that they're reducing or removing the like byproducts, and then they're just giving you the straight drop, which I think is overall a good thing. I've heard complaints about, you know, people saying, oh, this is going to destroy the economy for the items, because if everyone's just getting straight accessories, then the price is going to tank. And realistically, I don't think so, because enhancing already does that. Like, if enhancing was easy, no one would be in these spots. And I think it's just overall easier. So for people who want to have multiple build setups and gear, it's just overall a good thing. So do I think it'll tank the market? A little, but not like you're going from max price to minimum in 1 week. It's not going to be like that, trust me. So yeah, all these items that if you had the like individual pieces to combine it, they're just giving you the item now, and there's no more RNG, or less RNG is always good. Let's see. So this is basically telling you that if you had any like combinable items from those, they're just giving you the straight item now. That's cool. This is actually a huge update for the endgame players. So Aakman and Hystria Dehkia. Before I get into this, remember how a few years ago they added the Elvia realm? Now there's Dehkia, and it's so weird to me how they have like two different things. And I think it could be just the reason why they added this is because they notice servers are like, you can't just have two instances of like normal realm and Elvia and then not have it destroy the servers or the game. I just thought it was weird how they added Dehkia, but I think the real reason they're doing this is because you know how when you go to Dehkia and you use the fuel to power those spots, and then you have to use gold accessories to get more fuel? I think they're just trying to like equalize the economy and get rid of a lot of excess, you know, like materials or accessories. I think that's the real reason, but anyway, they're adding Aakman and Hystria Dehkia spots to the game. And if there's anything I know in this game, is I know Aakman and Hystria because I spent over 500 hours grinding here for my compass piece, which we got last year, which is really nice. And so I know these spots like the back of my hand, and the fact that we might have to go back to Hystria is, I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, I'm excited to be trying it. But I thought I was going to be done with Hystria for, you know, a really long time. And so it's pretty exciting. The drops that they're including in these new spots are Deboreka earrings. So right now it's very hard to get Deboreka earrings because the only spot that drops is Dehkia Olins. And now that you can get them, hopefully it'll be easier for all the people out there trying to get it. And of course, the compass pieces are going to be there as well. I hope they increase the rate of compass parts because, like, if you're going to be grinding at 300 area and you don't have a compass, it should just be higher than the regular. So I'm excited. Whenever that happens, we'll be making a video of that. Hopefully I don't get destroyed, but I'm excited. And yeah, so they're adding new icons on the map to show where they are. I'm excited. And they're changing the Marandora quest for the Forest Path Wagon. And I never really had an issue with that, but apparently they're changing it. So I'm not sure if this is going to be easier or just a change, but I never really had an issue. So Marandora's quest for the wagon, if you don't have it, you might want to start doing it now. Background, NPC effects, and cutscenes. So basically, this is just quality of life. They're making ocean content a little smoother. And my understanding is, remember, anyone who's sailed or learned sailing the past few years, you know that it was a lot harder back in the day than it is now. So like getting your Carrack, which is the current best in slot individual boat, was a lot more time consuming than it was nowadays. So it took me about like 3 months of active going for it like every single day. Nowadays, I think most people can get it in like 1 month or less, because they made a lot of quests that give you all the materials and everything. So it's like very easy. And then also after that, you have to like figure out how to do like ocean sailing. So I remember when I did it, you kind of had to know like invisible borders and everything, to the point where, like, for example, there's wind and currents and high tides and everything. You kind of just have to figure that out. Like, it's still in the game, but it's not as bad nowadays. So yeah, the fact that ocean content is being improved is always a good thing. And hopefully I plan to get back into it. I actually got the mono sailing log thingy, and I was going for more stuff to get prepared for that. So cool. Oh yeah, so this is one other thing I wanted to talk about, which I think is a good thing. So you know how in game, when you have your workers bring like materials back to your storages, they'll be like, your worker has brought back X materials, or 7 insert items has been gathered. And so now, instead of it having to be on your screen, it is now in your chat log, which is always better. And if you don't want to see it in your chat log, you just turn it off, which is something that people have been asking for the past like almost 8 years, which I think is fantastic. So fixes and changes. There's not really much to talk about here, because these items that are getting changed, I don't think people use in general. Descriptions for items have always been changed. One thing that I thought was actually an issue was the sell all junk button became translucent when discarding at a certain NPC. I have heard about it. I've never had this issue, but the fact that they actually know it's a problem now and they're fixing it is a good thing. But that's about it. We just speed ran these patch notes again, because I recorded this once and then it crashed and then I lost the file. So just went through the notable things again. But anyway, I think it's overall a good thing. And highest importance is the Magnus transportation system being 1, flat silver cost, and 2, it's a lot easier to actually travel without going to like 6 different cutscenes, and hopefully it reduces the amount of crashing, which I think is a good thing. They're adding a well in the Ulakita area, which is good for people like me and endgame players who are looking for the thing, which is awesome. And then the new, of course, Dehkia, Aakman, and Hystria. Whenever that comes out, we're ready. I hope I don't get destroyed there, but I do know that spot very well, to the point where I think I'll be fine trying it. But yeah, the improvements for less clutter in the game for materials and stuff, always a good thing. And yeah, that's about it. So with that said, thanks so much for watching. If you're new to your channel, hit that subscribe button. Would love to see you guys come back. Whether you're a new player, returning player, or looking to get better at this game, I do have videos to help all of you guys improve or get back into the game smoothly. And so if you need help, join the Discord. All the links are in the description below as well. So if you have any questions, happy to answer them. Drop a comment, or you can join the Discord and I'll help. I'm happy to point you in the right direction. So with that said, I'm out for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, hope these were interesting notes for you as well. Peace.